With the recent release of the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet trailer, there has been a lot of speculation regarding how the game's story is going to play out and what sort of Pokemon we'll see. There also is, to a much less degree, but very notable for this video, some discussion regarding what the new Gimmick will be. Now, yes, I am not a fan of Gimmicks. You guys know my opinion, Megas were cool, but once they started introducing Z-moves and then Dynamax, I was personally not sold on those features. I would have preferred them just to stick to Mega Evolution or just normal evolutions or whatever. I'll always say this, the best Gimmick is just to have regional variants and call it a day, but I digress. Now, how do we even know there's going to be a new Gimmick this time around? Well, just like for the last few generations, we have Japanese logos of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet to thank. As you can see, there are these strange star or sun-shaped crystal things right there. And again, X and Y revealed Megas, Oras revealed Primal Reversion, Sun and Moon revealed Z-moves, and Sword and Shield revealed Dynamax. That said, if we take another look at the Pokemon Violet and Scarlet trailer, we do see this town square area with a very similarly shaped star. Within this star, we see every type being represented and a Pokeball that is containing every color of these types. This leads me to believe that whatever Gimmick we're getting may be related to types. Will it be some sort of Gimmick that gives you an extra type for a short amount of time? Will these be kind of like Z-moves but with dual-typed attacks? Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of information to go on, so I'm not going to pretend like I have the answer. Now, something of note is a video made by Nova League, which will be linked below, that brings up some very good points regarding this game potentially being about time travel. In fact, he says it's 100% going to be about time travel, so definitely check out his video. But the basic gist is that Hisuin Pokemon are going to make a return, which should be extinct, and in the English logos, they show sort of an old-school font and style for Scarlet, whilst more of a futuristic one for Violet with like stars and space and stuff like that. And then if we look at the real life part of the trailer, this guy goes into the old explorer's room, which could be time travel in and of itself. And then when things start to go crazy, the book on the desk starts changing pages and the clock starts going crazy, also referencing time. Perhaps the crystals aren't a battle gimmick, but instead some sort of gameplay gimmick, kind of like Ocarina of Time, where when you take out the Master Sword, you go forward in time and you're in Hyrule 7 years later, and when you put it back, you go back. I'd assume there'd be like a larger variance between the time gaps, like not 7 years, I'm talking maybe hundreds, but the same sort of idea. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the whole open world that's going to be doubled up just to make use of this time thing. They could have segments that are like that. There's also ways to get around it. You don't actually have to copy paste the region twice and just make changes. Like, anyways, there's ways to do it, but still an interesting thought. Another option could be a battle gimmick like Mega Evolution, but instead of Mega Evolving, Pokemon that have variants, particularly from either the past or the future, can transform into these versions of themselves. This would bring forth, obviously, the Hisuian forms for some Pokemon, but could also bring forth future versions for other Pokemon. Perhaps Violet will have like the future versions, and Scarlet could have some of the past versions. So, for example, a regular Zoroark imbued with the Crystal of Scarlet would end up becoming a Hisuian Zoroark, and maybe a Zoroark imbued with the Crystal of Violet would turn into some future variant from a couple hundred years in the future. Interesting concept, might not be the case. Obviously wouldn't work for every single Pokemon, but notable nonetheless. Actually, now that I think about it, it could actually have some competitive utility because it would switch up your typing and stuff, even if it doesn't give you a massive power boost, and it wouldn't be broken because they wouldn't have a billion base stat totals, so could be interesting. Anyways, my rambling aside, in the same video, he brought up the Rainbow Rocket, what essentially is a culmination of a bunch of parallel dimensions / time travelers, time traveling because all the people are the same age as they were in the original debut of the games, despite a decade or two having passed between the events of Gens 1 and 7, but I wonder if that has a connect too. Remember that area where I mentioned all the types? Kind of has that rainbow aesthetic, and Giovanni said he was going to go do some messed up crap after you beat him in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so maybe this is a world where he shows up? I don't know. It's a lot of people are saying this could be a soft reboot, and what an interesting way to start with the original bad guy, but I don't know. This is all just reaching and speculation, but I do think the time aspect is very likely based on that video that I saw. It's definitely a very interesting conversation to have, and I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this. What do you think this new Gimmick is, and do you think Nova's time travel hypothesis is correct, or at least likely? Now, with all that said, definitely check out his video, will be linked below, and if you are a fan of monster taming or just Pokemon, definitely subscribe to the channel. I put out new videos every single day. You can follow me on Twitter, check me out on Discord, my Patreon, all links below. Special thanks to the patrons, Jim Hamilton, Steel Case, Dark Persona, you guys are awesome, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.